Doctor, namaskara. Dr. Shanai sir, namaskara.
Sir, namaskar.
Thanks for accepting our invitation, Doctor. Grateful to you on behalf of KSTA. ಕೇಳಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಮಾತಾಡ್ತಾ ಇರೋದು? ಹಲೋ,
ಕೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಸರ್, ಕೇಳಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಸರ್.
ಕೇಳಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್. ಒಂದು 5 ನಿಮಿಷ ಹುಡುಗರು ಜಾಯ್ನ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅಟ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಕ್ಟ್ಲಿ 4:05 ವಿಲ್ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್.
ಸರಿ ಸರ್, ಆಗ್ಬೋದು.
Good evening, Doctor Shanai sir.
ಗುಡ್ ಈವ್ನಿಂಗ್ ಸರ್. ಗುಡ್ ಈವ್ನಿಂಗ್ ಸರ್.
ನೀವು ನಮ್ಮ ಕಾಲೇಜ್ ವರ್ಕ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರಿ, ಮಾಡಿದ್ರಿ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಈಗಲೇ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಕಾಲೇಜ್ ಆಫ್ ಫಿಶರೀಸ್ ಮ್ಯಾಂಗ್ಳೂರಲ್ಲಿ.
ನಾನು ಇದ್ದೆ ಸರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು 6 ತಿಂಗಳಿದ್ದೆ.
ನಾನು ಓದಿದ್ದೆ ಅಲ್ಲೇ.
ಗೊತ್ತಾಯ್ತು ಸರ್.
ಮೈಕ್ರೋಬಾಲಜಿ
ಇಲ್ಲ, FRM ಫಿಶರೀಸ್ ರಿಸೋರ್ಸ್ ಮ್ಯಾನೇಜ್ಮೆಂಟ್.
ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಶಿವಪ್ರಕಾಶ್ ಸರ್ ಜೊತೆ ಇದ್ರಾ?
ಇಲ್ಲ, ಮಿಸ್ಟರ್ KV ರಾಧಾಕೃಷ್ಣ ಅವರು, AV ರಾಧಾಕೃಷ್ಣನ್ ಸರ್ ಅವರು. ಆಗ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಶಿವಪ್ರಕಾಶ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಪರಿಚಯ ಇದೆ.
ಹೌದು. ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ. ರಿನೌಂಡ್ ಸೈಂಟಿಸ್ಟ್ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ದಾಮೋದರ್ ಶೆಣೈ ಅವರು ನಮ್ಮ ಜೊತೆ ಇವತ್ತು ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅವರ ಒಂದು ಮೈಕಾಲಜಿ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಟಾಕ್ ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ ಇವತ್ತು. ಅವರ ಉಪನ್ಯಾಸ ಪ್ರಾರಂಭ ಆಗೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಮೊದಲು ಒಂದು ಬ್ರೀಫ್ ಪರಿಚಯ ಈ ಸಂದರ್ಭದಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಈ ಸಂದರ್ಭದಲ್ಲಿ ಸಿಸ್ಕೋ ವೆಬ್ಎಕ್ಸ್ ಪ್ಲಾಟ್ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಹಾಗೂ ಯೂಟ್ಯೂಬ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಜಾಯ್ನ್ ಆಗಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಎಲ್ಲ ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿ ಮಿತ್ರರಿಗೂ ಸಹ ಸ್ವಾಗತ. ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಬೆಳ್ಳೆ ದಾಮೋದರ್ ಶೆಣೈ ಅವರು BSc CBZ ಅನ್ನ ಪೂರ್ಣಪ್ರಜ್ಞಾ ಕಾಲೇಜ್ ಉಡುಪಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಪೂರ್ಣಗೊಳಿಸಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಆನಂತರ MSc ಅನ್ನು ಮಂಗಳೂರು ಯೂನಿವರ್ಸಿಟಿಲಿ ಬಯೋಸೈನ್ಸ್ ವಿಭಾಗದಲ್ಲಿ ಮುಗಿಸಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅದರ ನಂತರ PhD ಇನ್ ಮೈಕಾಲಜಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಫಂಗಸ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಹೆಚ್ಚಿನ ಅಧ್ಯಯನವನ್ನು ಯೂನಿವರ್ಸಿಟಿ ಆಫ್ ಹಾಂಗ್ಕಾಂಗ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ PhD ಅನ್ನ ಪಡೆದಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅಲ್ಲದೆ ನಿರಂತರವಾಗಿ ಅಧ್ಯಯನ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ನಾವೆಲ್ಲ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತೀವಿ. ಅದನ್ನ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಶೆಣೈ ಅವರು ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಈಗಾಗಲೇ MBA ಇನ್ ಮಾರ್ಕೆಟಿಂಗ್ ಮಿಜೋರಾಂ ಯೂನಿವರ್ಸಿಟಿಲಿ ಪರ್ಸ್ಯೂ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅದೇ ರೀತಿ ಪೋಸ್ಟ್ ಗ್ರಾಜುಯೇಟ್ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್ ಇನ್ ಡಿಜಿಟಲ್ ಮಾರ್ಕೆಟಿಂಗ್ ಪರ್ಡು ಯೂನಿವರ್ಸಿಟಿ USA ಅಲ್ಲೂ ಸಹ ಆನ್ಲೈನ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅಲ್ಲದೆ ಸೀನಿಯರ್ ಮ್ಯಾನೇಜ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್ ಇಂಡಿಯನ್ ಇನ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಮ್ಯಾನೇಜ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಕೋಝಿಕೋಡ್ ಅಲ್ಲೂ ಸಹ 2021ರಲ್ಲಿ ಯಶಸ್ವಿಯಾಗಿ ಮುಗಿಸಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಇದರ ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಸರ್ಟಿಫಿಕೇಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಟೀಚಿಂಗ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಲರ್ನಿಂಗ್ ಇನ್ ಹೈಯರ್ ಎಜುಕೇಶನ್ ಅಂತ ಯೂನಿವರ್ಸಿಟಿ ಆಫ್ ಹಾಂಗ್ಕಾಂಗ್ ಇಂದ ಪಡೆದಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅಡ್ವಾನ್ಸ್ ಡಿಪ್ಲೊಮಾ ಇನ್ ಸಾಫ್ಟ್ವೇರ್ ಇಂಜಿನಿಯರಿಂಗ್ ಕಂಪ್ಯೂಟರ್ ಎಜುಕೇಶನ್ ಉಡುಪಿ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅವರ ಒಂದು ಆದರ್ಶಪ್ರಾಯ ವೃತ್ತಿ ಜೀವನ 1999ರಲ್ಲಿ ಲ್ಯಾಬ್ ಅಸಿಸ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಪೂರ್ಣಪ್ರಜ್ಞಾ ಪಬ್ಲಿಕ್ ಸ್ಕೂಲ್ ಡೆಲ್ಲಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರಾರಂಭ ಆಯಿತು. ಆನಂತರ ಮೆಡಿಕಲ್ ರೆಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟೇಟಿವ್ ಆಗಿ ಕೆಲ ಕಾಲ, ಲೆಕ್ಚರರ್ ಇನ್ ಜುವಾಲಜಿ ವಿಜಯ ಕಾಲೇಜ್ ಮುಲ್ಕಿಯಲ್ಲಿ, ಆನಂತರ ಸೀನಿಯರ್ ರಿಸರ್ಚ್ ಫೆಲೋ ನಾನು ಅಧ್ಯಯನ ಮಾಡಿದಂಥ ಮೀನುಗಾರಿಕಾ ಕಾಲೇಜಿನಲ್ಲೂ ಸಹ ಕಾರ್ಯನಿರ್ವಹಿಸಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಇದರ ನಂತರ ರಿಸರ್ಚ್ ಅಸಿಸ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಯೂನಿವರ್ಸಿಟಿ ಆಫ್ ಹಾಂಗ್ಕಾಂಗ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ನಂತರ ಪೋಸ್ಟ್ ಡಾಕ್ಟರಲ್ ಫೆಲೋ ಆಗಿ ಅಗ್ರಿಕಲ್ಚರ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಅಗ್ರಿ ಫುಡ್ ಕೆನಡಾ ಒಟ್ಟೋವಾದಲ್ಲೂ ಸಹ ಕಾರ್ಯನಿರ್ವಹಿಸಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ನ್ಯಾಷನಲ್ ಇನ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಮೈಕ್ರೋಬಾಲಜಿ ಮೈಕ್ರೋಬಿಯಲ್ ಟೆಕ್ನಾಲಜಿ ಚಂಡೀಗಢಲ್ಲಿ 2008ರಿಂದ 2013ರವರೆಗೆ ವಿಜ್ಞಾನಿಯಾಗಿ ಕಾರ್ಯನಿರ್ವಹಿಸಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಆನಂತರ 2013ರಿಂದ 2014ರವರೆಗೆ CSIR ನ್ಯಾಷನಲ್ ಇನ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಓಷನೋಗ್ರಫಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ವಿಜ್ಞಾನಿಯಾಗಿ, ಆನಂತರ ಹಿರಿಯ ವಿಜ್ಞಾನಿಯಾಗಿ 2014ರಿಂದ 2018ರವರೆಗೆ, ಈ ಪ್ರಸ್ತುತ ಪ್ರಿನ್ಸಿಪಲ್ ಸೈಂಟಿಸ್ಟ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಪ್ರಧಾನ ವಿಜ್ಞಾನಿಯಾಗಿ CSIR ನ್ಯಾಷನಲ್ ಇನ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಓಷನೋಗ್ರಫಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ವಿಶಾಖಪಟ್ಟಣಂ ಬ್ರಾಂಚ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕಾರ್ಯನಿರ್ವಹಿಸುತ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಶೆಣೈ ಅವರು ಹಲವಾರು ವೈಜ್ಞಾನಿಕ ಲೇಖನಗಳನ್ನ ನಿಯತಕಾಲಿಕಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಪಬ್ಲಿಷ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಇಲ್ಲಿವರೆಗೆ ಸುಮಾರು 45 ಪಬ್ಲಿಕೇಶನ್ ಅವರು ಪ್ರಕಟಣೆ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಮುಖ್ಯವಾದವು ಮೈಕ್ರೋಬಿಯಲ್ ಡೈವರ್ಸಿಟಿ ಅಸೋಸಿಯೇಟೆಡ್ ವಿತ್ ಕಾರ್ಬಾಲ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ. ನಿಮ್ಗೆಲ್ಲ ಗೊತ್ತು, ಆಯಿಲ್ ಪೊಲ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಆದಾಗ ಕೋಸ್ಟಲ್ ಏರಿಯಾಗೂ ಸಹ ಪೊಲ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಎಫೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಆ ಟೈಮ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಟಾರ್ಬಾಲ್ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಅದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಸರ್ ಉನ್ನತ ಅಧ್ಯಯನ ಮಾಡಿ ಲೇಖನ ಬರೆದಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅದಲ್ಲದೆ ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ಟೀರಿಯಾ diversity in oxygen deficient waters of Indian Ocean ನಲ್ಲೂ ಅದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆನೂ ಅಧ್ಯಯನ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. Microbial diversity in other marine habitats and studies of fungal taxonomy ಬಗ್ಗೆನೂ ಸಹ ಅಧ್ಯಯನ ಮಾಡಿ ಲೇಖನಗಳನ್ನ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಶೆಣೈ ಅವರು ಬರೆದಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಇದಲ್ಲದೆ ಹಲವಾರು ಲೇಖನಗಳನ್ನ ಇದ್ರ ಜೊತೆ ಬರೆದಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಮತ್ತು ಬುಕ್ ಚಾಪ್ಟರ್ಗಳನ್ನು ಸಹ ಕೆಲವು ಪುಸ್ತಕಗಳಲ್ಲೂ ಸಹ ತಮ್ಮ ಲೇಖನಗಳನ್ನ ಪ್ರಕಟಣೆ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಇದಲ್ಲದೆ 3 PhD ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳಿಗೆ ಮಾರ್ಗದರ್ಶನವನ್ನು ನೀಡಿ ಅವರು ಸಕ್ಸಸ್ಫುಲ್ ಆಗಿ PhD ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ ಆಗೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಮಾರ್ಗದರ್ಶನವನ್ನು ನೀಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಈಗ ಪ್ರಸ್ತುತ ಒಬ್ಬರು PhD ಸಂಶೋಧನೆಯನ್ನು ಅವರ ಮಾರ್ಗದರ್ಶನದಲ್ಲಿ ನಡೆಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅಲ್ಲದೆ ನಿಯತಕಾಲಿಕಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಎಡಿಟೋರಿಯಲ್ ಬೋರ್ಡ್ ನಲ್ಲೂ ಸಹ ಕಾರ್ಯನಿರ್ವಹಿಸಿದಂತಹ ಹೆಗ್ಗಳಿಕೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಶೆಣೈ ಅವ್ರದ್ದು. ನ್ಯಾಷನಲ್ ಮತ್ತು ಇಂಟರ್ನ್ಯಾಷನಲ್ ರೆಕಗ್ನಿಷನ್, ರಾಷ್ಟ್ರೀಯ ಮತ್ತು ಅಂತಾರಾಷ್ಟ್ರೀಯ ರೆಕಗ್ನಿಷನ್, ಮೆಂಬರ್ ಇಂಟರ್ನ್ಯಾಷನಲ್ ಸಬ್ ಕಮಿಷನ್ ಆನ್ ಟ್ರೈಕಮ್ ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸಾನಮಿ, ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ವಿಜ್ಞಾನ ಮತ್ತು ತಂತ್ರಜ್ಞಾನ ಅಕಾಡೆಮಿಯ ಅಸೋಸಿಯೇಟ್ ಸಹ ಆಗಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಇದಲ್ಲದೆ ಮೆಂಬರ್ ಸೈಂಟಿಫಿಕ್ ಬೋರ್ಡ್ ಆಫ್ ಓಷನೋಗ್ರಫಿ ಅಂಡ್ ಅಟ್ಮಾಸ್ಫಿಯರಿಕ್ ಸೈನ್ಸಸ್, MIT ಯೂನಿವರ್ಸಿಟಿ ನೋಯ್ಡಾ. ಹಾಗೆ ಹಲವಾರು ಸಂಸ್ಥೆಗಳ ಜೊತೆ ಅವರು ಹೋರಾಟ ಇದೆ ಮತ್ತು ಮಾರ್ಗದರ್ಶನವನ್ನ ಸಂಶೋಧನೆಗೆ ನೀಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. We are very proud and privileged to have you for this talk, Dr. Shennai. On behalf of KSTA and all the participants, I welcome you once again and over to you for your distinguished talk. Over to you.
Thank you, Dr. Ramesh, for your kind words and introducing me to the audience. I hope I am audible now.
Yes, sir. Audible, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You are audible. You are audible. Please.
Okay. Thank you, Dr. Ramesh, for your kind words and for kindly introducing me to today's audience. I think I can speak in English, if you don't mind.
Please share your PPT.
I need to be given the access. Share the.
Siddhegowda. Hello.
Yes, sir. Hello, sir.
You will access kodappa sarige. PPT access. Siddhegowda.
Hello, sir.
I'm okay. It's okay. It's okay now. Yeah.
Done it.
Sir. Sir, namaskar. Hello, sir. Good evening.
Hi.
Sir.
Yes, I have started sharing my slides.
That's great. Go to full screen, sir.
Yes, I will. Yeah.
Yeah, continue, sir. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Maybe I'll just switch off my video.
Okay.
You can switch off.
Anyway, I don't know how to do that. Anyway, let me start with my presentation. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for your patience. We are just trying to fix certain technical issues.
Doctor, you can continue.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Doctor, please continue.
Sir, you may proceed, sir.
Okay, sir.
Yeah.
Please continue.
Yeah. Today I'm going to talk about fungal biology. Fungal biology is also known as mycology. In this presentation, I'll be talking about awareness about fungi, and I'll be continuing with some basics about fungal biology. Probably these basics for fungal biology will be very relevant to the students for today who are in the today's audience. And finally, I will talk about applications of fungi. Maybe we'll take the questions at the end of the presentation, if you don't mind. Okay.
Anthony. Please continue. Doctor.
Yeah. Uh, Fungi is a very common word. It is not a very well understood word. Let me give some examples about this issue. Kannada, fungi are known as Shilindra. Okay. Mushrooms are known as Anabi. Okay. And in Hindi, fungi are known as Kavaka, and mushrooms are known as Madhurika and other words actually. There is not much awareness about fungi. I mean, there are also poor understanding of fungi about among the general public. Therefore, we need to create the general awareness about fungi. The first few slides will give you some information about fungi for the awareness to create awareness. See, fungus is singular, fungi are plural. Okay, there could be three pronunciation. Okay, for this word, fungi, fungi, and fungi. Fungi, and fungi. So these are the three pronunciations for the word fun for the word fungi. Actually, of course, there are many fungi which are poisonous. Therefore, there is people are skeptical about fungi. There are so many beneficial. There are so many beneficial aspects about fungi that people are not really aware of. So through this presentation, I hope to create some awareness about beneficial aspects about fungi. For practical purposes, we can divide fungi into three groups. First one, mushrooms. Second one, molds. Third one, yeast. See, mushrooms are nothing but the fruiting bodies of some fungal species. There are around 15,000 fungal species which produce this kind of fruiting bodies. These fruiting bodies are called mushrooms. The main purpose of this kind of fruiting bodies is to disperse spores, help in the reproduction. And these mushrooms are reported in different forms and different color, and they are beautiful. And they are macroscopic. They are multicellular. Then second group is molds. These molds are microscopic. They are not visible to our naked eyes. We need to use microscope to see them, see their structures. They are actually multicellular, but they are microscopic. So we can find molds in dust particles in the household, in our home, or maybe on orange or on the bread. The third group of fungi is yeast. These are mostly unicellular, but when they divide, they become bicellular. So these are microscopic. Recently, fungi have been not really recently during COVID waves. Second wave especially. Fungi become some species of fungi become very infamous. Actually, they were incorrectly known as black fungus. Actually, there is a real misunderstanding about this fungus. These are a group of fungi actually. Here the fungus is hyaline, but the symptoms caused by the fungus are black. Therefore, the fungus was incorrectly known as black fungus. But unfortunately, some 5,000 people 4,003 people reportedly lost their lives to black fungus or these species of fungi which are incorrectly known as black fungus. In our day-to-day life, we encounter fungi in different ways. Fungi cause skin infections. Okay, and important one is the athlete's foot, especially in coastal region. This is a problem during monsoon season. In our household, we can see bread mold. You know these are fungi which infect bread. They cause this kind of greenish, bluish structure on the bread. Here you see a bread mold in action. Just watch this video for a couple of minutes or maybe a minute. You can see the growth of the fungus on the bread. Yes, I just gave some time for the video to play. So the other example is the growth of citrus mold. Here you see here you can see how the fungus is actually growing on the citrus or the orange. Not all fungi are problematic. There are some fungi which are very useful to human beings. For example, mushrooms. There are some mushrooms varieties. There are mushroom varieties which are very yummy in the sense they are very much edible. They have become part of our lifestyle. They have become part of our food. So, for example, button mushrooms. You can buy button mushrooms. Supermarkets. These are not very expensive actually. Fungi are imported fungi are imported in milk products. They play important roles in milk, especially taste and other factors. Actually, fungi make cheese. There are some fungal species which are involved in cheese making. Some specific taste to the cheese is given by the fungi. Yeah. Other than our household, other than around us, fungi can also be seen in forests. Actually, especially mushrooms can be seen in forests. Here is a small video about fungi of forest. Okay, I mean, so far we have uh, learned about the general awareness about fungi. To summarize what we have learned so far, for practical purposes, fungi can be divided into mushrooms, uh, molds, and yeasts. Mushrooms are the footing bodies of some species of fungi. They are macroscopic and multicellular. And molds, these are microscopic, and the molds are multicellular. And the yeasts are mostly unicellular, and they are microscopic. And in our day-to-day life, we can encounter fungi during the skin infections, during food poisoning, or maybe we can encounter this fungi in forests, especially mushrooms. Now we'll go to a little bit to a serious part about basics of fungal biology. As I told you, the fungal biology is also known as mycology. So here I'm going to give some interesting facts which may not be there in your textbook. Right? See, if you see the tree of life, fungi are a separate kingdom. Okay, fungi are separate kingdom, and here are the plants. Here are the animals. So fungi are actually closer to animals when compared to plants. Actually, plants are here, fungi are here. So molecular data suggests that fungi are closer to animals than to plants. So this is based on the protein. So this will have implications in when we design antifungals. If you did not know, the largest living organism on this earth is a fungus. It is not whale or something. It's a fungus. When I say it's a mushroom species, actually, the name of the fungus is common name of the fungus is honey mushroom. Scientific name is Armillaria ostei. So it is reported from the United States. Why it is the largest living organism? I mean, it's a Guinness World Record. Why it is recognized as the largest living organism on this earth? Because as you know, the fungi are made up of mycelia. The mycelium network below ground, they actually cover around 965 hectares, which is equal to 2,385 acres, of Malheur National Forest in Oregon in the US. So the mycelial network is around 1 meter underground, and it is calculated that this fungus is at least 2,400 years old. So okay, so it is estimated to weigh somewhere between 7,500 to 35,000 tons. Okay, so this is the interesting thing. So largest living organism on this earth is a fungus. So this is not. This fact hasn't been appreciated much. For as someone who believes in promoting mycology, I keep on stressing the fact that the largest living organism on this earth is a fungus, and it is a Guinness World Record. If you did not know, before plants came onto the land in the ancient world, fungi were already there. Fungi inhabited the land even before the plants did. And they not only fungi inhabited the land even before the plants did. Actually, fungi dominated the ancient world before plants came over to the land. Actually. So there are reports which suggest that there were giant mushrooms as tall as 8 meters. So those 8-meter tall mushrooms were there, and finally plants started competing with this kind of mushrooms, and because for the minerals and nutrients, plants were better competitors. Although, so these giant mushrooms are lost out in the battle, kind of a battle. So today we don't see giant mushrooms as tall as 8 meters. We see mushrooms everywhere. We don't see mushrooms as tall as 8 meters. So, but in today's world, plants dominate actually. Let us talk about the definition of fungi. Fungi are defined in certain ways. Okay, fungi are eukaryotic. That means they do not have. I mean, they have a definite, nuclear envelope. Fungi are chlorophyllous. They don't have plastids or photosynthetic pigments. Fungi are heterotrophic. They, because they don't have photosynthetic pigments. They don't photosynthesize. Therefore, they are heterotrophic. They are unable to make their own food. They are osmotrophic. They absorb rather than ingest food. Fungi are opportunistic, and they are exploiting. They are capable of exploiting many different substrates, including plastic, crude oil derivatives. There are some more factors. There are some more parameters. Anyway, as I told you, mycology is the branch of science that studies that. If you there is some information about minute structures of fungi. So if this is a fungal spore starts germinating, and there is germ tube is formed. The germ tube actually elongates, and this elongated structure finally form a mycelium or network of fungi. I mean, germ tube forms a hypha, and many hypha get together to make a mycelium. So fungal structures include spores, hypha, and mycelium. Okay. So here is a small clip about fungal spores. One more. This shows the release of spores by a mold. Now about classification about fungi. See, traditionally fungi were classified under plants. Fungi were a subkingdom under plant kingdom. Traditionally, subkingdom fungi included both plasmodial and non-plasmodial, forms of fungi. But present day, we use both DNA and morphology. So fungi have been redefined phylogenetically. Here is the new scheme of classification. So here, the traditional Chytridiomycota was found to be polyphyletic, in the sense their ancestors were found to be in different clades of fungi. Therefore, a traditional Chytridiomycota is now used in a very restricted sense. Traditional Zygomycota was found to be polyphyletic, so there is no more Zygomycota in the fungal kingdom, fungal classification. If you heard about Deuteromycetes, they were never a valid taxon. Now you find members of Deuteromycetes all over the fungal tree of life. How many fungal species are there? I don't know how many are there, but there is an estimate that there could be 50 lakh species of fungi. So far, we have described 1.5. I mean, we have described 1,50,000 fungal species. That means 90% of the guesstimated fungal species are yet to be discovered and described. So, where are the missing fungi? The missing fungi could be in tropical countries like India. They could be found in unexplored or poorly explored glaciers, maybe marine environment, for example. I was talking about mushrooms. There could be at least 27,000 species of mushrooms. We have already reported 14,000 of them. Actually, how many? The question is how many of them are edible? According to a recent paper, around 2,100 species of mushrooms are edible. This list is not perfect. They are still improving it. Well, here is a reference which you can rely on to find out edible species of mushroom. Here, when we discuss about the edibility of a mushroom species, then the role of traditional knowledge comes. You could ask your neighbors, or you could ask your ancestors. I mean, living ancestor, your grandparents or somebody. Who would give some ideas about edible mushrooms around your area? Mushroom market is quite huge. Globally, we produce around 12.74 million tons of mushrooms. China produces 70% of it. India produces only 2% of it. So these global mushroom production is expected to grow by 6% in coming years. Money-wise, presently global mushroom market is valued at 46 billion US dollars. So it is going to grow at 9.5% per annum. So that means by 2028 we could have market size of around 70 to 80, plus $1 billion. Here I'm going to show 18 popular types of edible mushrooms. Here the cremini, morels, shiitake, oyster mushroom, king oyster mushroom, lion's mane mushrooms, enoki mushrooms, white button mushrooms, portobello mushrooms, porcini mushrooms, maitake mushrooms, matsutake mushrooms, reishi mushrooms, Jane puffball mushroom, monoshindachi mushrooms, juice ear, straw mushrooms, and chanterelle mushrooms. See, these are the popular ones, the global market. But in India, we mostly eat button mushrooms. We also eat oyster mushrooms. Also eat shiitake, but majorly we eat button mushrooms. Of course, fungi are kind of known for their destructive plant diseases. But in addition to causing diseases in plants, fungi also collaborate with other life forms. For example, mycorrhizal fungi. These are fungi which collaborate with plant root systems. So this collaboration is mainly for the nutrient exchange and communication. This is a very interesting form of collaboration. Okay, another form of collaboration is lichens. Here, fungi collaborate with cyanobacteria or algae. So lichens actually are the indicator. They could be used as indicator of climate change. Okay, but it's a collaboration between fungi and cyanobacteria or algae. You must be knowing that fungi are a great source of medicines. If you did not know, the first antibiotic is from a fungal culture. This is about penicillin. Penicillin was accidentally discovered in 1929 by Alexander Fleming, and he shared the Nobel Prize for the discovery and mass production of penicillin, along with two other researchers. So when I was a student, I was told that Alexander Fleming's fungal culture is Penicillium notatum. But recent classification suggests that it is Penicillium. I mean, it is Penicillium rubens. So if somebody asks you what is the name of Fleming's penicillin producing strain, it is Penicillium rubens. It is based on molecular data. This is a phylogenetic tree. Here you see the sequence of Fleming's penicillin producing fungal culture. The fungus looks like this on an artificial medium and artificial media actually. More than one type of medium is there. And under microscope, these are the structures you could see. Penicillin is not the only molecule body medicine of fungal origin. There are many other medicines which are approved by FDA USA. For example, there are many medicines which are used in cholesterol lowering for cholesterol lowering. Many medicines used in bacterial infections, in terminal illness, in organ transplantation, or maybe cancer treatment and prevention, in migraine headaches. So these are all from fungal cultures. Actually. These are all from fungal origin. These are all of fungal origin. So now people are quite crazy about magic mushrooms. These are some species of mushrooms which produce psychedelic compounds. For example, psilocybin is a psychedelic compound. or there is a US investors are investing money on this research, like on psychedelics. In future, these psychedelics from mushrooms or fungi can be used to treat drug-resistant depression. So there is a great scope in discovering psychedelics from fungi, especially mushrooms. Last but not the least, if you are interested to know more about fungi, you could associate with some social media, pages. For example, Planet Fungi. Second is Fantastic Fungi. Every year there is a fungi film festival. They have a Facebook page. Uh, Last one is our own Fungi of the Planet Facebook group. Here we actually share information about mushrooms, fungi, edibility of mushrooms. Okay, so you could join this group and get more information about. Here we are having a campaign actually on celebrating fungi. This campaign is to get the attention of general public and non-mycologists about the role of fungi in our day-to-day life. Okay, on 2nd October, we celebrate Gandhi Jayanti in India, but globally we also celebrate World Fungus Day. So World Fungus Day is on 2nd October, okay, every year. I hope you will remember this, and you will remember the role of fungi in our day-to-day life on that day. With this, I would like to thank you for your patient hearing, and this is my address. This is my email address, and these are my institutional address. Okay? You can always contact me by email. And thank you very much again. If you have any questions, you can ask me now.
Dr. Shanai ಅವರೇ
Yes, sir.
ತುಂಬಾ ಧನ್ಯವಾದಗಳು. Talk was very informative, insightful, and scholarly. I'm sure these PU students will be highly benefited by your talk. When we were studying, there was a chapter on lichens. I'm sure they will also be having who spoke about lichens also. That will be very useful for them. ಮಿತ್ರರೇ, ದಾಮೋದರ್ ಶೆಣೈ ಅವರು ಉಡುಪಿ ಕನ್ನಡಿಗರು ಅನ್ನೋ ಹೆಮ್ಮೆ. ಉಡುಪಿಲೇ ತಮ್ಮ SSLC ಮತ್ತು PUC ಅನ್ನ ಪೂರ್ಣಗೊಳಿಸಿ ತಮ್ಮ BSc ಸಹ ಉಡುಪಿಯಲ್ಲೇ ಮುಗಿಸಿದ್ದಾರೆ. MSc ಮಂಗಳೂರಿನಲ್ಲೇ ಮುಗಿಸಿ ಆನಂತರ PhD ಹಾಂಗ್ಕಾಂಗ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾಡಿರೋದು. ಕನ್ನಡಿಗರು ಅನ್ನೋದು ನಮಗೆ ಬಹಳ ಹೆಮ್ಮೆ ವಿಷಯ. ಈಗ ಮೈಕಾಲಜಿಲಿ ಒಬ್ಬ ರಿನೋನ್ಡ್ ಸೈಂಟಿಸ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ನೀವು ನ್ಯಾಷನಲ್ ಇನ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಓಷನೋಗ್ರಫಿಲಿ ಕಾರ್ಯನಿರ್ವಹಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅವರ ಈ ಒಂದು ಉಪನ್ಯಾಸ ನಿಮಗೆ ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಉತ್ತಮವಾದ ಮಾಹಿತಿಯನ್ನ ನೀಡಿದೆ ಅಂತ ಭಾವಿಸ್ತೀನಿ. ತಮ್ಮೆಲ್ಲರ ಪರವಾಗಿ ದಾಮೋದರ್ ಶೆಣೈ ಅವರಿಗೆ ಅಕಾಡೆಮಿಯ ಪರವಾಗಿ ತುಂಬ ಹೃದಯದ ಧನ್ಯವಾದಗಳು. Very grateful to you, Doctor, for your excellent presentation, very informative presentation. Your students will be benefited. There are a few questions. My colleague, I will just read out. Please answer. Question 1. Oh, you like it. Siddhegowdra, question analysis. The questions that you have given to the students. Doctor, this time we have introduced a new system wherein experts will be asking 2 questions which you have asked. We'll be forwarding it to you. You please select the best 2 answers. We'll be giving them prize. Okay, Doctor?
Yes, sir. I have already shared the questions with the KSTA. And then the questions are in the chat box. And I would be happy, to read the answers, and I will be happy to judge them for the quality. And I would like to thank KSTA for giving me this wonderful opportunity. Thank you so much.
We are privileged to have you again, and we'll be having you again for one more talk period. Students, ಯಾವ್ದಾದ್ರು ಏನಾದ್ರು ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್ ಇದ್ರೆ ದಯಮಾಡಿ ಕೇಳಿ. ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪರ್ಟ್ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ನಿಮ್ಮ PU ಚಾಪ್ಟರ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವ್ದಾದ್ರು ಫಂಜೈ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಏನಾದ್ರು ಕ್ವೆಶನ್ಸ್ ಇದ್ರೆ ಈಗ ಸರ್ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ಕೇಳ್ಬೋದು. ಉತ್ತಮ ಮಾಹಿತಿ ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ. ನಿಮ್ಮ CET ಇರ್ಬೋದು, ನೀಟ್ ಇರ್ಬೋದು, ಅದಕ್ಕೆಲ್ಲ ಉಪಯೋಗ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಏನಾದ್ರು ಇದ್ರೆ ದಯಮಾಡಿ 1 or 2 minutes ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕೇಳಿ. ಸಿದ್ದೇಗೌಡ್ರ ಏನಾದ್ರು ಕ್ವೆಶನ್ ಬಂತಾ?
ಯಾವ್ದೋ ಕ್ವಶನ್ಸ್ ಇಲ್ಲ ಸರ್, ಚಾಟ್ ಬಾಕ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ ಸರ್.
Doctor, once again, thank you very much. If they have any questions, they will be sending it to us through email, which we will be forwarding it to you for kind response.
I will be happy to answer any queries from the students. Thank you very much again. Yeah, have a good day there. Yeah. So I'm leaving.